Hello everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. Today's subject is what is the enemy of depression? Because in the last years, this word um, become like an addiction and also like a bad habit to put it for everything. Like if you are lazy, you say that you are depressed. If you watch too much Netflix or playing games or stay on social media, people say I'm depressed. Or everything that, like, silly things that we do, we say we are depressed. That's why we do. So the most important thing is about your actions. Action is the most powerful enemy of depression, but we have to make like, hey, what is depression? Okay, most of the times I don't want to say that I'm a therapist. I've been through depression. My wife has been through depression, and also I had lots of clients at personal trainer that had depression and they didn't know how to get rid of it. So I'm talking from my experience and from other people's experience. I'm not a therapist, okay, but I think my experience and what I learned from my experience can help you. That's why I want to talk about this. So depression in most of the cases come from your past, something that you did or did not in your past, and becomes like a regret, or you can't change it, or you can but you don't want because something else keep you back. Like, for example, if you are in a toxic relationship where your husband beats you and you have two children, you want to get rid of him, but you just think continuously about the kids, and this is like a barrier, like something that keeps you in the same position, and you have to go through this. And that's why, because you can't make you happy, and you have to stay in these toxic relationships because of the kids or something else. It develops like a depression, okay? So, or other examples are, you've been bullied in school when you was a children, and right now you developed a bad habit of eating too much sugar, and you become an obese person, and you've been rejected so many times from employers, from companies, from, I don't know, a lot of stuff. So in this way you start developing depression, and you can't do anything. Like, you've been stuck over there in your negative black thoughts that creates a hole and digs a hole bigger and bigger, and you go down, 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 down. So this is or you lost something, okay? So you can't feel like, everyone wants to have a purpose in life, and everyone wants to figure it out in an early age, what is his purpose, her purpose in life. So you find yourself in some positions or in a bad job, that you start developing thoughts about yourself, that you are worthless, that you can't do anything, you are not good at anything, and goes on and on and on. And in this way you develop a depression. But the cure for these things that creates depression is action. If you take action, okay, the depression, the feeling of depression will vanish. This is the biggest enemy of depression, is action. So for example, let's make it simple and clear, okay? For example, let's get back to the first example. If you are married with a person, okay, that beats you, okay, your husband beats you, you have 2 children, what can you do? It's very simple. You have to take action. What do I mean by taking action? Is that if you care about your children and your children's future, you have to develop the energy and the motivation from this point to start analyzing what is your budget, your finances, if you can take care of them without him, because a lot of women stay in that relationship because they don't have the money to take care of their children's and them and herself, and that's why they wanted to stay over there in that toxic relationship. So the action you have to take is to make calculations, to develop the motivation to make the calculations, to see how you stay financially. If you stay very bad, is not a problem, because you have to take action again and see what skills you can develop to get a better job, what skills you can develop to become an entrepreneur, to open a business. But you have to take actions to see what you can do. And the best practice for this is to take a paper, to take a pencil or pen, just start writing what is your base salary right now, what skills do you think you have, what you are best of doing, what hobbies do you have. Because most of the times people have a lot of hobbies, or have 1-2 hobbies that are very good at it, even cooking chicken, even making a pie, even, I don't know, handcraft something. I don't really know, but a lot of people have these things. They don't do anything about it, and they realize after a period of time that they can develop a serious business from their hobbies. That's why it's very important to take a piece of paper, start writing how is your financial, what is your salary right now, what are your skills, what are your hobbies, and start thinking how can you do, okay, more money or get a better job by investing in your skills. So all the toxic things that comes from your relationships, and even the beating stuff, everything like this, you have to try to convert it in energy, motivation to taking action for your son's futures or your children's future. This is an honest example. This is what you have to do. You have to take action, to write it down, to write it on your phone, to think about it. So another example, straight to the point, like what can I say? Let's say you lost money, for example, okay? Or you lost your business. That's why it's very important to surround yourself with people, or people who have knowledge in this field, or in entrepreneurial stuff. If you lost your business, okay, think about Steve Jobs. He found it, okay, the company, and the guys from the board said, hey, we don't need you anymore, so you're fired. So how can you get fired? This is what he said. How can you get fired from a company that you start? So it's very simple. That's why Tony Robbins said that welcome to Steve Jobs' world. Because of that, you have to take some examples. You don't have to, because when depression is created when you think very, very small, like, oh my God, I lost my business, my child, my business. I worked so hard for him, but for the business, but if you get the whole picture, the bigger picture, okay, like, hey, Steve Jobs did the same thing, but he came back, okay? They needed him. He created the software for the PC, so they realized the company don't go so well without him. So if you create the big picture, like, if I lost this business that I created, that means another door will be opened somehow, somewhere. So I have to focus on the big picture. So you start taking actions. It's very simple. Take a piece of paper or make some notes in your phone and think, what can I do to recover my business? Or if you truly lost it, it's not a problem. Think of what you learned from that business, what skills you improved, and what you can do next. Or maybe you can do the same product or service but much better. So that's why every time the action is and will be the biggest enemy for depression. But if, for example, a lot of people think that if they will listen, will watch Netflix all day, they said will be in depression. Okay, let's say that you are in depression because you watch Netflix. But you have to take action. You have to take some actions. If you want something, you have to take some actions. Because if you're gonna stay and watch continuously Netflix, you will develop a bad habit. That bad habit will not bring you anything good. So you start developing the idea that you don't have a purpose in life. In this way, you create the depression, the black thoughts, that you are like, you don't exist in this world, or you can't do anything, you are not good at all, and all of this stuff. So that's why it's very important to take actions. It's not just stay and saying, okay, that's all, I'm depressed and that's all, I need therapy. Okay, you need therapy, go to therapy. It's not a problem. It's still an action. You go and talk to someone. That therapist will start asking you questions. Why do you think how you think? Where these thoughts come from? What is in your past that creates these thoughts that you have in this moment? So even that, it's called an action. You took an action because you don't want to stay in this position for a long time. So you start calling therapists to see what you can find, and go to one, try one to see if it's okay for you or not, and if he or she can help you or not. So it's about taking actions, guys. This is what it's about. Action is the biggest enemy of depression. Remember that. So if you need any advice, how can you start taking actions, like I said in this episode, please just send us an email on office@eatshealthy.uk, or you can find us on Instagram. You can DM over there, and you can DM us over there, and I will answer straight away to you guys. I hope this episode helped you and create a big picture of this idea of depression and what action means. Thank you so much, guys, and see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye.